Right, so we all know wrestling isn't entirely on the up and up, and if you didn't know that, I'm sorry I'm the guy to break it to you. Just don't go and Google the Easter Bunny, because that'll just result in you having an awful, awful day. There's nothing wrong with this fact either, because it's all the smoke and mirrors around that make pro wrestling so damn cool. You can literally do whatever you want as long as the other person agrees. Despite such freedom, however, some wrestlers do the same spots over and over again to the point even an idiot would go, wait a minute, something is up here. The flip side to this, of course, is that it's like going to see your favourite music act. You want to hear or see the classics. I'm Simon from What Culture. This is 8 wrestlers who do the same weirdly specific spots over and over. Number 8, Mick Foley gets hanged by his neck in the ropes. Mick Foley's neck getting twisted up inside the ropes after his opponent attempts to toss him outside has got to be one of the most dangerous things a wrestler can agree to do. I mean, couldn't this legit choke someone out if it goes wrong? It's not like the ropes are made of cheese. I know what that means. It's even called the hangman position, for goodness sake, and Foley already had evidence it was dangerous. It's how he lost a part of his ear when wrestling Vader. Some ropes are so tight and tough too, if you did get stuck in them for too long, you could suffer brain damage because you're being suffocated, and yet Mick Foley did it time and time again. Remember when some people say that Mrs. Foley's baby boy wasn't tough? Those people are mad. He was a warrior. Number 7, RVD misses the Rolling Thunder. Rob Van Dam has so many signature moves, they're basically not signature moves, they're just moves he does when he gets in the ring. One of those is the Rolling Thunder, where RVD does a diving forward roll and then springs off his feet into a jumping front flip sentence splash. The move looks cool right up until the guy he's supposed to splash moves away, and then RVD ends up smashing his back onto the ring. As of today, the success rate for this move I would guess is about 15 to 45,000, and it gets even worse when there's a ladder involved. You just know RVD is about to kill himself. There is logic here though. It takes Rob ages to set this up, and given he does it all the time, a smart wrestler would be like, I know what's coming, just gotta roll to the left. It's never deterred Van Dam, however, just keeps on trucking. Number 6, Shane McMahon and falling off stuff. Once again, we do have to go to how successful or not so this has been for Shane McMahon over the years. Yes, he beat Big Show when he dived off the Titantron, but otherwise this desire to hurl himself off things has gone terribly time and time again, especially in the modern era, and that's where it gets even more dumb. After WrestleMania 32, Shane should have gone, well, don't try a big elbow off the top again, because look what happened last time. And then we got to Hell in a Cell 2017, and he tried once more, and he missed once more too. That's just stupid now. Stop jumping off things, you maniac. Obviously, this is done for spectacle, and as a McMahon, Shane can get away with it, but it is a weird spot that's continually done, and it rarely helps the man at all. Number 5, The Rock selling the stunner. No one takes a stone cold stunner like The Rock, and as a quick aside, I hate the way he takes it. He looks like a fish that's just been punched in the face, flopping all around like a goof. Give me Scott Halls any day. Some people say this is awesome because it looks like he's really selling the move, but that's not true because you can actually see him put his palms to the ground and push off. If you've just been hurt, that's not what you do. As soon as he'd come up with this as well, he did it all the time, which makes even less sense. If you do sell a move in the same way time and time again, you make it look more and more fake. If I smack you in the nose, you don't react the same on each occasion. That's not how life works. It happened though, and you just know if we ever saw another, it would happen again. Number 4, Terry Funk pretends he's been blinded. In any intense hardcore bout, typically when there are abundance of sharp objects flying all over the place, Terry Funk has been known to start clasping at his face and screaming really loudly. There's pretty much always blood involved, and so we're all left to wonder if Funk has actually been legitimately blinded. But don't worry, he hasn't. Of course he hasn't. Barring the one time he suffered a small, easily stitched cut to the skin around his eyes at ECW's One Night Stand 2006, Funk has never actually suffered a serious eye injury in the ring. That doesn't stop him from pretending it happens on a regular basis, only to come back fine a couple of minutes later, sometimes even wearing an eye patch. Mick Foley has always said he does this to add a bit of realism to his hardcore matches. He certainly does sell it, so it works. It's just such a strange go-to. Number 3, Batista and his botched spears. Okay, so this is less about him doing an oddly specific spot and more about his terrible execution of a widely used move. For anyone who grew up watching pro wrestling in the 90s, there are obviously 2 varieties of the diving shoulder tackle. There's Goldberg's absolute mauling, and then there's everybody else's lackluster version apart from maybe Rhino's gore. The worst of the bunch by a significant margin is Batista. He could never nail it properly, and yet for some reason he wouldn't stop doing it. It was less like a diving shoulder tackle and more like some tripping head bump to the midsection. He clearly liked it, however, because it came part of his arsenal, and Batista was awesome, so who cares anyway? I miss Big Dave. Number 2, Dean Ambrose's stupid middle rope clothesline thing. This just looks goofy, I don't like it, I want it to go away and never come back. With that said, the first time Ambrose pulled this off, there was a reaction from the audience as it was something rarely seen, and by that logic, you do want to bring it back. New things in wrestling are few and far between. Problem was, before long you started to realise it wasn't going to be used as a counter as and when, but instead was going to become a signature move. That meant now when he does pull this out, there's no point. It's not like he's been kicked out the ring and turns it around, just bounces off the middle rope and does a lariat. This should have been one of those less is more moves, but alas, now it's just more is more. The only thing that should be more and more is cake. Deadlifts. Number 1, Ric Flair's face flop. So it's time for me to be a hypocrite because I love Flair's face flop. It makes me happy every time I see it, and if I had the choice, he would never stop doing it. Every match, Flair would come out, perform this, I'd cheer, and we could all move on with our day. The best part about it is how it could happen at any point during a bout and always look dumb, but dumb in a wonderful way. Who walks forward seemingly in control of their senses before realizing, nope, I've been KO'd? It's the best. It's comedy to the extreme, but hey, if something works, it works. And of course, Flair also had his climb to the top rope and get thrown off routine too, just shows how good he is. Just gets it. I love you, Ric Flair, and I always will.
I am defiant.
I am defiant.
I am
Defiant.
I am defiant.
The villain.
We are defiant.